On August 17th, 2024, there was a major change to buyer agent commissions. And now that we're in 2025, I just wanted to say how things are going for first-time home buyers and their buyers agents and what I'm seeing for the most part, in transactions, what's really changed. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on the matter, 3 things that I think you need to make sure you're paying attention to as a first-time home buyer working with a buyer's agent. I'm Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to home ownership and helping you confidently buy your first home. So on August 17th, there were 2 major changes. One, commissions were no longer going to be advertised by listing agents in the MLS. So the MLS is a multiple listing service where all agents list their homes for sale. Then that gets pushed out to Zillow, Realtor.com, and all of those other websites like Redfin. So what stopped happening was before, for every house that was listed, for the most part, you can see the commission that was offered to your buyer's agent, or your buyer's agent could see the commission that would be offered to them for bringing them a buyer. So they could see if a house was offering 2% or 3% or 3.5%, 4%. They could see that very easily. So they knew what their compensation was going to be because the seller was essentially paying it, okay? Or the agent that was listing the home was sharing that commission with them, okay? Now, because of a lawsuit, that changed because the seller felt as if they were paying both sides of the deal. Not only were they paying their listing agent, but they were also paying your buyer's agent. So they were successful in the lawsuit. So one thing that changed was commissions will no longer be advertised. No compensation would be advertised. And number 2, you have to sign a contract with your buyer's agent before touring any property. And in that contract is going to include how that buyer's agent is going to be compensated. Now, in the past, although buyer agent agreements were always around, the buyer's agent wasn't as worried about getting that signed because they knew that they were pretty much guaranteed that commission from the listing agent because they were advertising what that amount was going to be. But now what the changes is so important and it's required that they have a signed agreement with you, the buyer, as to how they're going to be compensated. Now, they can still get compensated by the seller or by the listing agent's broker, but it's just a lot more confusing because you don't know what's going to be offered. So here are my 3 thoughts 5 or so months later than August. So we're in 2025 now, and some advice I want to give you. So number 1, most sellers are telling their listing agents that if the buyer's agent wants to be compensated by them, they need to just include it in the offer. So a lot of buyer's agents were calling the listing agent and say, hey, what commission is going to be offered on this house? Because now it's not advertised. And while some agents are still doing that, calling, a lot of the responses that they're getting are just put it in the offer. So if you need buyer's agent compensation, put it in the offer. Very similar to how if you needed closing costs paid, then you would put that you need closing costs as part of this offer in order to buy this home. A lot of sellers are not telling you or telling your agent up front what percentage they're offering. Some are, but the majority, again, are saying just put it in the offer. So you have to have that conversation with your buyer's agent ahead of time because they cannot just put it in the offer without your approval. So you have to approve them including their compensation in the offer because that will usually impact if your offer gets accepted or not, because sellers are most concerned with how much they're going to net after their home sale. So if they have to pay your buyer's agent 3% out of their proceeds, right, then that's going to give them less money. So you have to approve that your commission or your buyer's agent commission, compensation, they want to call it now, can be included in the offer that you send out. And you'll be signing these offers, so you want to make sure you're looking and seeing what is in each offer that you send out. So that's number 1. Most sellers are saying just put it in the offer. Number 2, Agents that are having a harder time selling their listing are advertising what commission is going to be offered. So the flip side of just put it in the offer, if listings are staying on the market longer, what I'm seeing is agents are advertising the commission that's offered to the buyer's agent on their websites, on their social media, they're emailing it out, they're texting it out, they're doing everything but putting it on the multiple listing service because that's no longer allowed. They are advertising that commission in the hopes that more agents will show that property. So I am seeing that everywhere. They are telling you how much the commission is. Some are offering bonuses to get homes sold to the buyer's agent. So you have to be sure, again, that you have a good agreement in place with your buyer's agent. Can they keep the bonus that's being offered? Do you not want them to keep the bonus so you can get some more money towards your closing costs and that sort of thing? Because when sellers are having a harder time getting their home under contract, they're going to start advertising incentives, and they're going to advertise those incentives a lot of times directly to your buyer's agent. And then lastly, agents are, still pretty new. Like we've been less than 6 months with this new agent compensation and all the changes. So some agents are having a hard time with this, not knowing. And some of them, not all of them, are saying that they don't want to show anything that they're not sure what the commission is. So going back to number one, where sellers are saying put it in the offer, you want to make sure, again, you're having a good conversation with your buyer's agent to say what you're willing to see and not see. A lot of your buyer's agents are going to make you sign something that says you don't want to see any homes that are not offering a specific type of commission. They may have you sign that, but you probably don't want to sign something like that because you don't know what homes, like it might be a home that you're really interested in, but they're only offering 2.5. You've signed with your agent to pay them 3%. And so that 0.5% you're willing to pay it out your own pocket. But if you say you're not going to see it, then, you may miss out on that home. So you have to have again, this buyer consultation is so important with your agent to know exactly how our offer is going to work. What do you want to do? What don't you want to do? What homes do you want to see? What homes don't you want to see? Like how much are you willing to pay, if anything, out of pocket to your buyer's agent? And don't think that I'm saying 3% a lot because sometimes in a lot of places that's what we're seeing, but everything is negotiable. It can be a flat rate that you're paying. It can be a percentage that you're paying. Everything is negotiable with your agent. So I just wanted to kind of give an update on where we are with buyer agent compensation. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments, and I'll hopefully be able to answer those for you. And I have a little playlist that I've started with this topic, how your agent is compensated. It's in there. So I'll have that in the description of this video as well. Thank you so much. Get my masterclass. That is in the description as well. Today I can't talk for some reason. But if you have any questions, please put it in the comments. Thank you so much.